Welcome back, welcome back.
There can only be one Red Ranger. Jason, this is your time. This is your team.
Thank you.
Welcome back, my wolves. Welcome back, my ninja.
There can only be one Red Ranger. Jason, this is your time. This is your team.
Thank you.
Welcome. Sorry, I'm not at full power yet. Shit is hard. Give me time.
Welcome back, my friend. Oh, we gotta go to Krispy Kreme, Jason.
What?
Not for 10 minutes. Okay. Let's
You
try
like
this.
Krispy Kremes? I love Krispy Kremes. It was all a dream. Boss. Did anybody watch the movie? I don't know, but we're gonna break it down to what I can remember. Seems like this movie's about being chosen
It's morphin time.
and changing, becoming more than what you already are, because you always have been. Very interesting theme they have in the new Power Rangers movie. Very, very interesting. Now, like every movie, there's not always, how could I say, my father's people making these movies, I guess. So some movies are very wicked as hell. And they have very wicked themes to them, right? Now, as I watch this movie, I always know how to... I can literally listen to something bad and receive something.
They said it would be too
Good
hard to
for
earn a degree while working full time. But WGU.
That's what I used to do with rap songs. That's how I figured out what songs eventually to listen to from certain artists and what songs not to listen to. Now, as I watched this story, I realized they changed the original archetype of the people. The Blue Ranger is a black guy now. In the original, he was a white guy. The Yellow Ranger was a Chinese girl, and the Black Ranger was a black guy. They changed all three of those characters' nationalities up and race, like gender. Like the Black Ranger's a Chinese guy, and he represents the Black Power. Get it? He even throws the black fist up. Literally throws the black fist up. They all throw hand signs up in one scene, and every hand sign's different. They're all normal hand signs all of us do these days. Are they Nathan symbols? I have no idea. Is this a Mason symbol just doing this? Because in every single Jesus pose, he always does that. We always do this. Jason did this. Everyone does the pointer. I'm number one. You know what I'm saying? So people gotta understand that hands signals and shit, it goes back a very long time. Sign language, this thing called sign language, it's hand symbols. Get it? People speak without words. Pictures worth 1,000 words. Now, as I realized they did this, I felt comfortable because the old story was, I guess, for my childhood time, and I liked those characters too, but I don't know, there's something about the story. And all of these 5 children were chosen by the universe. See, it also explains something I never knew about Power Rangers. It slipped my mind, or maybe it's actually they just threw this in there. Zordon was the first Red Ranger, or one of the first Red Rangers, and that blew my fucking mind because I never knew that as a kid. And how he became a head thing is because he was the last Power Ranger on his team. He was the leader, Red Ranger, and he lost to Rita Repulsa, the original cartoon bad guy girl. And in the very beginning, they used to be, you could tell they're on opposite sides, but you can tell they had a thing. Because me being a research and expert on anything I love, I noticed that she had a power coin too. And she had the green power coin. And I remember from the cartoon, she's the one that gave the Green Ranger the power. She gave him his power coin. And he was a bad guy. So was it bad power, or was the power in the hands of a bad person? And that means she was a Power Ranger. That means there's 6 Power Rangers. But one went bad. Get it? And that backstory is going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait till I hope they elaborate this. Now, what I realized about this is it just the same thing that the Bible teaches. The Lord will come. Good can't win forever. Evil can't win forever. And we all go through a cycle. And when the new cycle comes, new people will be chosen to protect and defend and do whatever the Lord wants them to do. Paint pictures, make videos, whatever it is, right? So, Zordon is like a grown-ass man in his alien world or whatever. This thing's jumping from universe to universe, right? So, as he's on his dying breath, he sends the coins out, and some meteor hits the planet he's on, which is my mind went right back to Earth and the extinction of the dinosaurs, right? Because that's how they say they died. But it was these aliens fighting, and whatever the universe controller is said, I'm tired of this planet and I'm going to destroy it with a meteor, the same way I did in the Bible. So he sends the coins away. It comes to Earth during the time of the dinosaurs, and they get wiped out, obviously, because it's in the future where people are. Get it? So the coins couldn't find anyone through history all this time that was worthy of being chosen to wield the power. And it can choose anybody, grown men and obviously children in high school. So it waited like 2,000 years, and the only ones worthy were children. And it found them. Well, one of them found it because his father was like some super scientist or something, I don't know, the black kid. And he was really smart, but he was a nerd, and everybody picked on him. And all of these kids have all these bad background stories. And it was so fucking crazy because I watched my own life through each of their background stories. Like the Chinese Black Ranger, his pain was that his mother was sick and dying, and he knew she was gonna die and he couldn't stop it. The Red Ranger, he was always a fucking special kid that, you know, the jock, the star, and he blew his chances hanging out with his friends one day, driving a car, and he got in a car accident running from the cops. The Pink Ranger was a cheerleader that was like, had anger problems, and she ended up doing something really bad to one of her friends, leaking her photos or something, and it was because of her boyfriend. She thought her boyfriend was cheating with that girl, So she leaked the photo, but he wasn't really cheating. And then like the parents got involved, and she lied to the principal and said, "Nah, I didn't do it." And she threw other people under the bus. So they all had these weird things that made them not in the in crowd anymore. And all their friends and families made them feel like shit for making their mistakes. And it was killing these kids very badly and very slowly. And they began to do things teenagers do. They don't show it in the movie. You have to read between the lines. And there's certain things they say, you have to catch it. And they got to keep it wholesome. So as I realized it's a band of misfits, renegade black sheep shunned by their own family, I felt very relatable to that because that's my story. And it hurt to watch them all share their stories, and I fit all their stories. And I said, fuck. Damn, we've been through a long road. So, as I'm watching all these different people go through all these problems, right? I'm watching so much. But it's like weird because I'm jumping into the Bible and I'm jumping into my own life as I'm watching this, and I'm learning all these things from my past and thinking about these other people that I'm meeting and all these things. And it's just so crazy how the story is like mixed with a lot of things that I talk about. And it's hard to tie it all in. But they had to go through a lot of different things. So, as they meet Zordon and get told they're chosen and that they gotta save the world and shit. And Zordon's surprised because they're children. And he's like, wait up, this can't be right. Like, what the fuck did the coins do? This gotta be wrong. Like, they're babies. They're not even fucking young adults. These are babies. Like, Zordon's like, yo, these are babies. What the fuck are you doing, Alpha 5? And he's like, hey, the coins choose who they choose, dog. Like, this is what they chose. I know. I don't understand neither. And he didn't believe in him because, you know, the children, it's hard to become and be called to such a great task. And he's trying to teach them how to morph into their suits, because without getting into their suit, they can't use their powers and all this stuff, right? And he tells them, your power to your suits and your powers work because you're a unit. You can only do it if you are together within your mind. You just have to, like, I don't really get it myself. So they put them, like, they are super strong now already. The coins gave them, like, they're like fucking super strong and can jump like 100 feet and like super strength and all these things I talk about. That's without the suit. So Zordon goes, alright, we gotta start training y'all up because Rita here, she gonna kill everybody y'all know and she gonna kill your whole planet. And ain't no fucking talking. You better get ready. I'm sorry, this is what it is. I lost to her. She killed me and my whole team, so I don't know what to tell you. This is just what it is. So Jason, the leader, says like, fuck it, let's go, bro. Like, cause he's a fighter and she's a sports guy. And like, rest of them are all little, you know, little street kids a little bit, but they ain't the ghetto or nothing. The only one that's a nerd and really can't fight is the black kid. Like I keep telling y'all, we don't train our children because we're peace, we're love. But the Bible says there's a time for everything. So, as they're training, they can't figure out how to unlock their power. They get frustrated. The Chinese kid, the Black Ranger, and the Red Ranger start arguing and fist fighting with each other. The black kid always wanted to have friends and shit. He was a nerd and shunned away, so he, you know what I mean? His power was love and the yearning for togetherness. He was a peacemaker. He was Israel. but he was beaten down and whimpered, neutered. He got neutered. But he didn't get neutered. It was his destiny to not be the alpha. The Lord chose him to be a fucking Jacob, a man that just studied so he could find the stones. And he runs in between them and says, "Stop fighting!" and pushes them away because he has super strength now, so he's not afraid to take one. So he's like, "No!" And as he did that, he transformed, and he didn't know because it just naturally happened. And everyone's looking at him like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And they're like, "Yo, how'd you do that?" And he's like, "How'd I do what? What are you talking about?" And he looks down at himself and he's like, "Oh shit, I got the suit on." And they're like, "Yo, how'd you do it?" And as he's like all souped up, it starts going away because he's feeling it and he's loving it and he's losing the power of what he did. He's not realizing he unlocked it because he cared about them so much. Even though he don't know them, he loves them. He has infinite love. As soon as you're around him and you're cool with him, he loves you all the way. And he will stop you from hurting yourselves. Even if, you can't beat either one of them. They could have whooped his ass. His superpowers or not. They're used to fighting. He's not. But he was like, "Fuck it. Nah, I don't care. I'm used to getting beat up." So, we're the Rangers. We're the new team. We can't be fighting each other. And that activated his power because he had the power of heart and unity. And he's the one that brought them together. And his power went away because he couldn't hold on to it. He was so souped up and everything. So they're like, "Yo, look, we changed. Look, he did it. Let us go." And then Zordon was like, "No. Do it again. Do it right now. All of you transform right now." They couldn't do it. So they figured out they had to actually get to know each other on a personal level, and they figured out they had to reveal all their sins to each other so they can know each other. So they all start telling their deepest secrets, like I just told you about the sick mother and their fears and the fucking things they are ashamed of or whatever, right? And secretly the Yellow Ranger and the Black Ranger but also it was weird because the Yellow Ranger was like, I think gay. I really do, but I could be wrong. And I can see that because they're not accepted and they're bullied and shit, you know what I mean? And on the way I believe the faith, he tells me to preach to those people and like tell them like you can come home, just like bad people that make mistakes and do any sin in the world. The Most High says he forgives and you can come home. You gotta stop doing that thing, but you can come home. So what I realized is the coins chose a different race. It even says it. The coins are different colors, so it chose different people with different colors. I said, "Oh shit, that's what you always be saying about the book. There's Israel, the chosen people, but then there's this special team that the Lord builds from the other nations. He chooses them, the ones that will listen in the last days for the Great War. And they're all going to get together and pound." Anyway, they go through their stories and then the plot twist and the reader threatens them and then the crazy shit happens. The Bible story happens. Rita has them all captured and ends up drowning, taking his breath away. The black guy, of course. So all four of them pick him up by all his limbs and he's literally in a cross position and they walk his ass all the way back to the mountain to Zordon. And then Jason, takes responsibility because he told them to go in there without their suits and fight the most powerful being in the world. And, he got the black guy killed. He got his new best buddies. He made the wrong choice. they all told him we should go back to Zordon and ask what we should do. And he figured, because Zordon talked to him privately and was telling him, I'm going to make myself come out this wall, the head thing, and I can bring myself back, and I'm going to take the fucking, your coin from you, nigga. You don't know what you're doing. You're a little ass kid. I'm a grown ass man that been through this shit longer than you, and this shit is real, nigga. People gonna die. I'm gonna take the coin from you, and I'm gonna figure this shit out. I can't let evil win again, and I don't want to send you in, you boys and shit, you little ass girls. So there was a way to bring his spirit back and give him a body, and they fixed the machine so they could do it. And then, as Zordon was about to make himself come back, he chose to make the black kid come back, because only one person could come back. So instead of choosing his grown-ass, military, already vet self, he said, there's no way I'm letting the heart of the team be gone. I could take his power, I could take the blue coin, but I don't got the heart. I'm a Red Ranger. I gotta let him go back. There ain't no other way. So he brings him back to life. Jason tells him, you know, I'm so sorry, like, I got you killed, bro, like, I fucked up, and I'll never not trust you guys again. I'll never not really consult with yous. I know this is my position as the leader, but we're a unit, and I need to trust my team more. I have to make the final decision, but I do need to hear from yous. So they all learned a very valuable lesson. And Jesus came back to life. Manuel. It's incredible how I can always see the story of the Lord and everything. It's funny how they always put the story of the Lord in everything. It's funny that they chose the black kid to die and come back to life and be carried in a cross position. It's really funny. It's really strange they would show us that. Do you understand they made the Blue Ranger a fucking black kid? They chose to do that. And then they chose to make him die like Jesus and then be carried cross-like by his fellow brethren, chosen ones. And their love and their leader sacrificed his chance to come back to life. Zordon's the creator. Dummies. It's a metaphor. Zordon's probably like an angel or something. Get it? Nah, y'all don't get it. It's above y'all thinking, cat. Some of you. Anyway, so you know, they get their little powers and they go to fight Rita. Normal ending, but very something good to see if you're trying to unify your family or your friends, because they're fighting. They beat the bad guys up like always. Then they gotta go fight her. And she calls this big ass monster. It's funny because, you know, as the days of Noah, it's going to be like that in the new days, the Lord said. So I keep trying to tell my brothers and sisters, we might have to fight giants. Are you training for that? Are you even thinking of that? I am. Anyway. So they have little dinosaurs, robots, and they're fighting. We all know Power Rangers. They're fighting them and fighting them and fighting them. And then eventually there's a pit of fire in a street. Big hole. And the gold monster is pushing all of them at once. because they're all standing in a line. Because Jason said, "Hold the line, form the line. Leonidas style. We are one, and together we shall reign." And one of the Power Rangers rules are never aggress a fight unless the enemy aggresses more. Meaning you can never use your full power. You always have to wait till your enemy damn near fucks you up, and then you kill them. You can't kill your enemies. You have to wait for them to choose to push you to that limit of they're gonna damn near kill your ass. You know how hard of that would be to be a like, oh yeah, I forgot the Lord says that. Forgot my father said that. I think that's why he tries to teach his soldiers love, because it's hard to fight for the Lord. There's a lot of rules. So as the monster literally throws them off this edge and they all fall into the pit, literally, they become engulfed in fire and flames. And their machines begin to morph together and become one thing. They go from animals to the shape of a man's body. So, you know, like Daddy. And then they fight the monster. But it was really dope because they're all in the chest. No, they're two in the legs, two in the arms, and I think one's in the head or whatever, right? And they all, Jason's the leader, so he's the head. He only gets to speak. He has to tell them the orders. He's the brain. He tells them how to move. Left punch, right kick, all this. So right when they first start, they fall. And then they get back up, and he's like, yo, bro, we got to get this together. Everybody know what you're doing. Listen to me. So then he starts telling them, and then they're fighting, and it was dope. I was like, yo, that's the dopest shit. I forgot about that's what makes the Power Rangers so dope. Their final form, they only can fight all at once, but they had to only be one part of the thing.